What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building. You feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it, bruh. I know that y'all been waiting for videos and stuff like that. It's just like I said, finding a rhythm. A lot of changes, but my apologies. But we back at it, and honestly, like. It's actually good that there's just been patience and just been waiting out to see what's going on, because clearly when I speak, when True Talks, you listen, fam. When I've been talking about the Raptors time and time again, I've been saying the same thing, like beating been a broken record, right? Beating a dead horse. I've been saying the same shit time and time again. Like, dog, people don't hear what I'm saying, or actually they hear what I'm saying, but they don't listen to what I'm saying. And the problem is that you have the fanfare, or you have past history where I've ridiculed Pascal, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's not Pascal ridiculed about him individually, like, the person or anything like that. It's mainly assessment to how the fans are reacting, right? The fans kind of overboost somebody, or just put someone in a category they should never be in, and now I'm talking to the fans. So now it looks like, obviously, to the naked eye, oh, he doesn't like Pascal and stuff like that. No, I'm talking to y'all, yo. Forget Pascal. Him individually as a player, he's overachieved from what he started as. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing when I was talking about Lowry. Like, individually as these players, like, if you were to have a kid and to have them, if they're inspiring to be into the league and stuff like that, and they're not, you don't know if they're necessarily going to be the Kyries, the KDs, those crop, the LeBrons, all of them. Like, you would go and look at the situations of Kyle Lowry where he started, and look where he ended up. Look at DeRozan where he started, look where he ended up. Look at Pascal where he started, look where he ended up, right? You will look at those players, and those are teachable. You could find, great teachings into how those players operate, their mentality, and just being from under the radar, coming onto the scene and being all-stars, etc. Fred VanVleet, perfect, like, betting on himself. Like, so individually, this is not an individual knock on that person's character or ability or anything like that, in terms of just overall where they started, where they are, and who they become. That's not ever what I'm attacking, because I got to be clear, because maybe when I talk with passion and aggression, and just, it's always talking to the fans with their statements, their kind of perspective, and attacking that and showing why it's cap, why you're wrong, and it makes negative sense. Let me show you the IQ. That's what I do. So obviously, sometimes within explaining that and attacking that, a lot of stuff get lost in translation, and a lot of people just assume that I'm attacking from here just by the way I do it. So let's get that out the way. Now, when I assess Pascal, again, I just, like, not even just Pascal, anybody I talk about, it's always covering or uncovering what is kind of been covered, right? What gets lost in this and that, and all of just, the naked eye doesn't see certain things. So, like, again, same thing what I've always talked about with Pascal. Oh my God, he's improved. He's done this. He's done this. He's done this. And to me, again, I hoop. You know what I'm saying? So what I think, I don't look at other people, even other NBA players. I don't look at what other men say to justify what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I use my own IQ, my own brain, especially from a hooper perspective, from training all the time. And at the end of the day, in practice, these men are getting cooked. But in the game, certain men have certain green lights that aren't rewarded to everybody. So if that man has the same green light, his takes will be different. His play would be different. His confidence would be different. That doesn't necessarily mean you got better. I have to look at the actual, like, who you is as a player individually. Are you coming off curl screens now? Have you added assets and skill sets to your game that is different from when you first came in? That's when I can understand, did you get better? It's not just a percentage thing. It's not just a stat thing, because all those things can be manipulated by situation, by more opportunities, by more usage. You get what I'm saying? It's the perfect example as, like, look when Luka was out, and now Jalen Brunson was able to be the point guard full time. Look what he did in the playoffs. Does that mean Jalen Brunson was always weak? No, he was always that same guy. It's just his opportunity changed, so now he could display more. That's what I'm talking about. When it comes to, you have to understand what's actually truth in getting better. If the person's in the same role for 5 straight years and in that same role they get better, then you could be like, okay, perfect example like Jason Tatum. For a while, it's been him and JB, and in that role he's gotten better. He's now shot more catch and shoot. He's now played more off the ball, coming off pin downs, etc. Like he's got better in that situation. Then you could say, okay, now I could see the stats and all these things attributed. It makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand that's the same thing like Anthony Simons or other guys like that. Their roles and their opportunities have increased and gotten better, so now their stats have improved. Yes, you could say that they got better, but as a hooper, no, they've been that guy. They've been that guy. Maybe Anthony Simons more so because he wasn't getting minutes, period. Looking at Dame, seeing how he did get better while the opportunity increased as well, too, because he was hella young. But for the most part, a lot of these guys, when they've gotten opportunity, so forget the Anthony Simons example. For example, like the Jalen Brunsons I've explained. You have who else? You have maybe Jeremy Grant. You have a lot of other guys, right, that their situation drastically changed, so you could drastically see an improvement. But in their situation before, you've seen moments of step back. You've seen moments of ability. So you know that the guy has it. He just needs more freedom. He needs more of a green light, then it will be on full display, right? As opposed to if someone never displayed it and now they're displaying it, that's where you could maybe say they got better. But anyways, I digress. The point is with Pascal, from time, even from history, when I've been saying, Pascal didn't really actually get better, his situation has changed for 3 straight seasons. When he first came when he was coming off the bench, when he was going back and forth G League and off the bench, he was doing the same takes. Then when he started being a starter with Nurse, he was doing the same takes, but his points drastically increased. That's the minutes. That's the production. That's the role. Then when Kawhi left and he became the number 1 option, it was the same takes. You know what I'm saying? It's just now more. Now I'm the number 1 guy, so more opportunity again. That's where you see the improvement drastically. Other than those 3 situations, his improvement's been here, and you know what I mean? Now he's in the same number 1 situation, and other than this season, you know what I mean? You've seen him improve and stuff like that. But again, even in that number 1 option, it has changed a bit because as him being the number 1 option, he was getting it more so in transition. He was getting it in downhill situations. He was actually the screener, rolling and getting ISOs off babies and stuff like that, situational ISOs, while Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, and, they were the ones ball handling and play initiating for the most part. Last year, it was the same thing like that. Then this year, it changed where now Pascal at a full-fledged level was actually play initiating, like as if he was Luka, as if he was LeBron, like he was the point forward, and that's why his assists drastically increased. People are looking at it, did his assists get better? I'm like, yeah, it did, but it's not to the extreme that y'all are putting it to. It's more so his opportunities getting more. So he's now getting the ball running downhill, not running downhill in the half court. He's getting the ball, bringing it up. VanVleet is actually sending him the screen, so he gets a baby. And now when he gets doubled in the free throw line, below and stuff like that, now we could kick out to certain guys, to certain shooters, and he just get in that situation more now because before he wasn't getting it like that exactly the same. So his passing has increased. Like I said, passing is not necessarily like there's levels to it. How the pass comes obviously makes the dime different and makes it as you're an elite playmaker, etc. But just getting 7 assists per game. This guy could get 7 assists. This guy could get 7 assists. Obviously, his 7 assists looks different, like Scottie, versus this guy's 7 assists. Pascal's looks different. But the fact that he's getting 7 assists, it doesn't mean, that he didn't or he improved drastically to get those 7 assists. No, he's just getting doubled more. Like you gotta break down things to uncover it to the real truth. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kind of have the passion to do. That's what I just can't do otherwise than that, especially as someone who's been hooping, studying film, as someone who's been playing. You just see the game differently than what the fans see. They're going to sometimes put too much credit on certain things or put too much, they overboost certain things when it's like, that's not really that elite because that guy could do it, that guy could do it, that guy could do it if he was in the same situation. Look at Westbrook. He's getting 10 assists. Does that mean he was a better passer than LeBron, who's never averaged 10 assists in the season? No, we know that his situation, you know what I mean? Like, that's my point. Anyways, I digressed again. The point is, I call it as it is. I uncover the truth because a lot of, especially Raptors fans, and Raptors fans have been increasing, especially since Kawhi got here and winning the ring, etc. A lot of these fans just say anything. It could be some of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to do my best to educate, to give that IQ. That's what I do. A lot of y'all won't see it when I speak. A lot of y'all will be like, what is Banks talking about? He's wrong. It goes over y'all heads. Some of y'all used to be like that. And then when you realize that, oh, Banks isn't just doing that with it. If Kawhi sucks the runs, if KD messes up, it don't matter who I like or whatever. If the person makes a mistake or the person is sussing, I do the breakdown and I will show you he sussed the runs right there. He didn't. Yo, what are you doing, fam? That was wrong. That was incorrect. I call it as it is. The less that I say negative about a person is because he does less negative things. He's just that elite. That's all that would it. That's not a me thing. That's just the film tells you everything. You get what I'm saying? So when people realize, okay, he's just being real to the bone 100% of the time, all right, let me actually hear what he's saying and maybe he's actually showing me something that I didn't see. And some of y'all used to get mad at me at the beginning and roast me and call me a hater at the beginning, etc. Rightfully so, and I argue with y'all. Then y'all have kept coming, and some of y'all have turned around, some of y'all haven't, whatever the case is. But the point is, the real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So now that we move on past that, because again, this is about just the Raptors. Even though we're talking about OG, we're talking about the Raptors in general. Follow me. It'll come full circle. The point that I'm trying to make is that I assess what's happening, break it down, and make a verdict or conclusion, or, now I argue, whatever. The perspective I come with is based on the footage at the end of the day. Authenticity first, everything else second. So now that we got that out the way, the point that I'm trying to make again is that now when it came to Pascal, I was trying to tell people as a number one option, Pascal is a number 2 or 3 option. And even him being that option, his ISOs should be situationally. He's not someone who's going to kill a primary matchup. He's someone who could take advantage of a mismatch. You give it to him in those scenarios. He going to kill, cuts, whatever the case is. He just let him free roam. We've seen him do that with Kawhi. Let him free roam and let him eat how he gets it. He will always average 20 to 24 just off of that, regardless of who he's playing with, because he could play off the ball, not necessarily like elite off the ball, but he could just free roam. Again, transition, like I said, there's so many, he has skill sets that he could do, especially at that height and finishing ability and stuff like that. And, he had good foot speed, all of that. So in this day and era with spacing and all of that and great defense, if you play good defense, you get steals, Pascal is guaranteed to get 20-plus points a night. So that's already somewhat of an elite if you compare to the rest of the field. Does that mean he's now in a situation where he should be getting bare ISOs or running the offense, getting man to set the screen for dogs? That's where you need to stop that. Especially when you have other people on the team like Van Vliet, who is a traditional PG, scoring PG, who should have the ball and have more rhythm. Now, when you take away his rhythm and not having the ball, it's going to affect him. You give him the ball more as of late. Look at his points per game. All of that has been increasing. In the clutch, when he gets the ball, it's not Pascal scoring in the clutch. So what's the point? It makes no sense to me. It's just like Giannis. Pascal could do what Giannis does if you have the personnel around him. When you don't have the personnel around him, you're not going to Giannis to create like that. That's what I'm trying to say. Pascal is not in the perfect scenario. Pascal getting the ball, even in ISO situations and stuff like that, was even more better, and that's what resulted in team wins when he had Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka alongside with him, because they were stretch bigs at that point in their career. So now that was similar to Brook Lopez for Giannis. Bobby Portis for Giannis. Y'all stay at 3-point line as bigs so I can run downhill. The paint is for me. If y'all collapse, I can kick out. That's perfect. But the Raptors don't have that. You have Scottie alongside with him. He's a non-shooter. You be having Precious with him. He hits sometimes, but he's a non-shooter. Koloko with him. I think that he could actually hit more often if they let him and they kind of geared him towards that. But as of now, he's a non-shooter. You have these other bigs you're playing with, Kem Birch, whoever it is, non-shooters. So when you have that alongside with you, Pascal's not in the situation to just give him the rock and ISO. It's a play style clash. You have to now use the creators, make Pascal the screener and a slipper, and, or Scottie, or whatever the case is, you have a tandem, right? You can balance it or make Pascal play more off the ball and cut when now Scottie cuts. It's the same thing with Ben and Clax. It works when KD was there. It was working. Obviously, forget now that they're losing a bit that KD's out for, But when they went on that win streak and stuff like that, Ben and Clax was playing together. That's two non-shooting bigs. But because they're giving the ball to KD, or you could give the ball to OG. Giving the ball to Kyrie, you can give the ball to Trent. Give the ball to Fred VanVleet, you give the ball to Seth. All these other guys, these guys who are shooters coming off pin downs, coming off screens, coming off actions, and Ben and Clax are the ones setting the screens and rolling. Then now, even if Ben rolls, then now because KD is trapped, Ben rolls. Now it's a 2-on-1 between Ben and Clax. Throw the oop, whatever the case is. It's you could play with no spacing when you have the right personnel or elite guys in shot creating. That now that no spacing doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect. And that's what I'm trying to say. You change your offensive play style and who is more so dictating and play initiating and running offense for. That now makes your offense more elite. It's little tweaks like that. Nurse is running the same offense he ran when he had stretch bigs. That shit don't work when you don't have stretch bigs, and that's what I've been trying to say. Like, you'll have moments where it works. You have moments where it does. It's inconsistent, which is why the shooting from Trent and all of these guys are inconsistent because it's rhythm-based. Not everybody could be a KD and have no rhythm and still be efficient. Like, that's not normal. Because KD does it and y'all roast KD, y'all think it's normal. Even with Kyrie, like, y'all think that it'd be normal. It's not normal to not have rhythm and be splashing like that in high efficiency and tough shots. Like, you can't, Trent shouldn't make that. His rhythm is off. VanVleet shouldn't, his rhythm is off. You don't even know if the ball's sweaty. Fam, he catch it, now he shoot. Like, come on now. Like, y'all don't hoop, so y'all don't understand these things. These aren't stat sheet things that you could read. Like, this is just, you can't just look at the game and see these things. You have to understand, be in that situation before and know that, okay, when I have the ball and I'm dribbling and I'm now able to shoot, even if I'm not shooting a pull-up. If I'm bringing up the ball and I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing up the ball. Now I pass to Pascal. Now I go to the corner spot up. Now Pascal drives, kicks it back to me. I have more rhythm. My rhythm is there. My confidence is there. I'm going to hit that shot. As opposed to I'm just spotting up the whole time, setting the screen for Pascal. He's doing his stuff. Then I get it one every 5 possessions. And now I shoot it, catch and shoot. My rhythm's off. I might brick those ones. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not you. Only if you're in the situation, you know the difference. Only if you've hooped, you can understand the difference. So it's not an excuse because VanVleet should still hit the shot. He's going to say I should still hit it. But there's an explanation as to why it's off. Don't just act like I'm out here just bricking. No, my rhythm has changed. Last year I was hitting. But now I'm bricking this year. What has changed, y'all? The offense, the play initiating, the usage. You heard VanVleet say himself. I don't need to talk to the nigga or not. It's just, if you hoop, you know these things. You put yourself in that person's shoes. You know these things. You've seen it. You've done it. You experienced it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you can understand. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm talking about. So I already knew from the jump that the Raptors were never going to be elite. I told y'all, when Pascal and Scottie together, they're the same nigga. They're the same play style. How they play within that play style is different, but at the end of the day, where they score from on the court, where they're weak from on the court is the same. When you have two guys that are elite free throw line down, playing together, you can cancel one. This is why rarely do you see them. I don't even think you've seen them both get 30. You maybe rarely have seen them both get 25, 29, but that's like maybe, they're playing a mismatch team, whatever. Like, for the most part, you're going to see Scottie 3 for 9. Pascal maybe has 30. If Scottie's eating, Pascal is not eating like that. He's struggling. That's what you're going to see majority of the times because they're the same exact person. It's the same thing with LeBron and Westbrook. They can't play together, yo. When you try to mask it, you'll have some times where you win, but it's going to be more inconsistent. It's going to be more negative than positive. The positive will happen here and there, which is why I say they can't win. Doesn't mean they can't win any games. When I say can't win, it means contend and be a top-tier seed with that play style. It's not going to happen. Because when you face the elites, they're going to sag off that guy and then make that guy go to work. They're going to sag off. So his ISOs aren't even the same no more. I'm not talking about facing bums that don't do that and don't pay attention to that in regular season. We're talking about for real, for real. So I already know it's not going to work. And this is why you get these inconsistencies, which is why I said, dog, the Raptors should have been, they're going to make, so the great thing about this is, like I said, Pascal individually, because you can give him the ball play initiating, his stock has risen in terms of individually being able to trade him. And I've said this from before. This is the perfect window. The trade deadline's coming up February 9. That's what, next Thursday. You could trade him. You could trade him. And I'm promising you, one, out of all other, you don't want to trade Scottie. He like the most value you could get is if you trade Scottie. At anyone on the team, if you trade Scottie, the league knows he can be Draymond 2.0, which is a 20 and 10, 20, 10 and 5 guy easily. For his career, he could be that. If he has the right pieces around him and the right play style around him and he's not playing with the exact same version of him, he could do what Giannis is doing. He can. Easily. Man, see that. And maybe even more because he has a bag when he's comfortable. You see him do step backs. You see him do post fades. I seen him do shimmy. Like, I seen it. He just doesn't do it when he's not comfortable because it's like they're making me shoot threes all the time. I'm not comfortable. Let me get to the rim. So he's not in his comfortable situation. But when Pascal's out, you see him play whole different aggression and bag. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no guy canceling me. But the point is, that's the guy on the Raptors that has the most trade value. But you don't want to trade him because, again, he has the most upside. So I'm keeping him. Which is why even when KD asked for the trade, they weren't trying to trade Scottie, but everyone wanted Scottie. Or the Nets wanted Scottie. They didn't even care if Pascal was thrown in there or OG. They wanted Scottie. They said they're not doing it if they don't get Scottie. So that lets you know what the consensus around the league is. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, when you look at it, we know we're not trading Scottie. That means who is next? You're going to trade OG? And this is what I'm saying. The Raptors are, I know OG is gaining some interest because, again, the league knows also OG can be a Jeremy Grant if you give him the opportunity. My problem with OG is that you should be assertive, that you shouldn't wait for pass. He's kind of like nonchalant where he waits for the opportunity to be given to him instead of taking it. So what that means is when Pascal is injured, right? And now we know everybody has to step up. OG, you're going to get the rock more. You know what I mean? So mans are giving it to him more. He's going to take advantage when it's given to him. As opposed to, dog, even if Pascal's there, yo, dog, have a mismatch. Move, like, clap for it. Give me the rock and start getting aggressive. Be forceful with it. Or when you do get it, you don't pass. Go to work. Get a bucket. One dribble pull. Like, be aggressive in those moments you get it. That's my knock with OG. But OG's going to play. He's like, oh, y'all want to go through Pascal? And he's going to play through the team. You can still find a way of being aggressive, play through the team. I'm not saying, like, don't rock with the team and just be a nuisance. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, find ways to be aggressive. That's what KD be doing when he was in Golden State. We running this offense, but when I get it, pump fake, one dribble pull, like, I'm gonna get 15 shots, 2 dribbles or less. I'm gonna get that when I get it and be efficient, 11 for 15, 6 for 9. Like, I'm gonna get those. That's what I'm saying OG could do. And you shouldn't look at it as I don't want to do this. I could do way more. You should look at it as, okay, this is my situation. Let me be elite in this situation because there may be a point in time where let me master my craft. If I could be elite in this lesser role and be elite, it's going to, 1, propel me to get more of a role. 2, other teams will be like, oh, okay, I see that now. Okay, what if he got more? He's like, I'm going to give him more now. You're going to propel yourself to get more faster. Not only that, you're just advancing your craft, that like you're just getting better individually, that if I could be elite in this is also an attribute to me. You know what I'm saying? It's an asset to me. So, so my ability is improving. Now my one dribble pull-up ability is improving. My catch and shoot game, my rhythm is improving. My efficiency is improving. Like, you have to look at it from an individual growth perspective. So that's why I wanted OG to be aggressive at all times, but he's not, rightfully so, etc. Right? Especially when you've gotten more and then you go back to less. It's like, it's frustrating, which is why he's frustrated. I already said from time OG's going to be frustrated before he was frustrated. Before you hear these reports. I told y'all this from time, which is why I said this year is going to be, it's either it's OG's year or it's a problem for the Raptors. If OG does not get to that next step, it's going to be a problem for the Raptors because y'all made no signings. OG is supposed to be that signing. He's supposed to drastically improve. That, like, now it's like, okay, we signed by just letting him rock. And y'all heard me say OG. Before I was not saying OG, you showed me a lot when Pascal was out. You showed me a lot of bag. You showed me a lot. And I said, okay, this guy's here. He showed me a lot. Y'all see preseason. Forget even that it's preseason, the aggression. When Pascal not there, you see how OG operates. You've seen it. So, again, this is why I'm saying if they go and they trade Pascal, don't make a mistake if they trade OG. I'm telling you now. The league knows that he could be the Jeremy Grants. He could be those type of guys. Move past a two-way. A lot of these two-way elite guys, Paul George, Kawhi, a lot of these guys started out as the OG role. And then they forcefully got themselves out of it. But OG was trying to do that. But when you have, oh my God, go to Pascal. This is why there's probably Scotty's arguing with Nurse. You have OG arguing with Nurse. Probably Van Vliet arguing with Nurse because Nurse is the same guy going to Pascal. Pascal fouled with him, and now Pascal, like, he has that is me or die. That's how I could sense it. I don't need to talk to nobody around the team. I could sense what's going on. I know mans are cussing Nurse. I know mans are doing that. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, if you trade Pascal, you'll get out of anyone outside of Scottie, Pascal, you'll probably get the most for. OG maybe a close second, but Pascal, you'll get the most for. You can get a solid big, maybe even a big who could shoot. You could get that, even if it's not a big that could shoot. Well, you would want a big that could shoot for Scottie. So maybe you get a big that could shoot. That would be ideal. You get some, maybe 1 or 2 3-and-D guys. Van Vliet now, I promise you he'll re-sign. Van Vliet doesn't want to sign because of what he's being put to. He knows I could go somewhere else, and you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to establish myself. Yes, I want to win, but I want to establish myself. I got the ring. I need to now individually elevate. That's what Van Vliet's on. I don't need to talk to him. I could just, as a hooper, if I'm in his shoes and I got the ring and I've been playing the 6-man role, I've been playing the off the ball role. I see what these point guards are doing. I could do that if I got the ball. I see what Brunson, I could do that with, give me the rock, yo. Let me be a point guard. I could do that. I know I can. That's what he's waiting for. That's what he re-signed. That's why he signed with the Raptors thinking it was going to be that, knowing Lowry's leaving. He thought he was going to be that. But y'all went to Pascal now. So now, I promise you trade Pascal. I talked about this before. You trade Pascal. If you have to trade somebody and make a move at this deadline, because the Raptors been losing. If you trade Pascal, you keep Scottie, you get a shooting big. That is ideal situation because now the trend that you've seen is not the trend that you're going to see because he's going to get the ball more. It's not Pascal just running downhill. The Van Vliet you've been seeing in clutch moments, you're going to see that more often because now he's going to have more usage. Scottie don't even need to run downhill all the time. Scottie could. So it's like when Drew Holiday's getting the ball with Giannis, sometimes Giannis is just setting screens, rolling, and stuff like that, and Middleton is cooking, Holiday is cooking, like they could do it all, or you can now just give Giannis the ISO. There's plethora of things they could do. That's why they nonstop are a top 3 seed every year because the play style is perfect. There's no clash. So you're always like, you're gonna, come on now. The Raptors are talented, but there's a clash. That's the problem. It's not the talent. It's the compilation of talent, certain talents. And it all comes down to the common denominator, and the root of it all is Pascal Scottie. Y'all thought that shit worked last year because whatever. I'm telling you, y'all, this is inevitable. I knew it was going to get to this point always, and I was trying to tell y'all. So the problem the Raptors are going to make is they might trade OG and try to blow it up, and that's not the right move. That's going to be the wrong move. You're going to regret that because when you're going to want to move Pascal, it's going to be too late, and you're going to get nothing for him, or he's going to leave, just like they did with Lowry, just like they did with other mans. This is the time to trade Pascal. The OG you're going to get closer to Kawhi like OG. I'm not saying he's a Kawhi. Don't get it. I'm saying the bag is going to display on a full level. You're going to get a guaranteed 23, 22 plus point per game score. That's what you're going to get from OG because there's not a Pascal play initiating. You're going to get OG coming out. Scottie set the screen, dribble, pull up. You're going to get a different OG. You're going to get a different Trent. You're going to get a different Van Vliet. Everyone's going to elevate like this because it's addition by subtraction. It doesn't mean Pascal is not a great individual player or a good individual player above average. It doesn't mean that. It's just the clash with the team and the direction that Nurse is taking with the team by giving him the play initiating is taken away from all these other guys. And I see that. And I've been trying to tell mans and warn mans and let them know, but, somehow it gets lost. People don't see that. They have affinity and love for Pascal that, they think that I'm just attacking him and stuff like that. He's just calling it as it is, yo. They're just calling it as he's not a number one option in this league unless he has the perfect play style around him, similar to Giannis, and he doesn't have that. So, you know what I mean? It's just Nurses. This is why the league, you hear that, league statuses or Nurse's status is getting, looked at around the league. Whatever the case is, like, Nurse is a great coach, but now he's getting exposed in terms of, you were only a great coach in that situation you had. A great coach is always going to get the best out of your team regardless, especially when you have the similar great talent. It's just a little 1-2 minor tweaks you have to make. You have to read that and make that. You can't be a great coach just in that one situation when you had the Ibaka big and all that type of stuff. And then now, you know what I mean? That shit worked then. different play styles, change your offense. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been saying. That's my problem with Nurse. Change your offense. Change who you go to. Why are we going to Pascal in the clutch getting patted by Horford jump ball? What are we doing? That's what y'all doing? He has no bet. All right. And then this is where it comes out like I'm killing Pascal individually. He has no bag. I don't expect him to get out of it and do much. That's who he is. You're trying to make him something he's not. He has no bag, yo. His bag is only when he's confident, when he's feel. That's here and there. If he displays that here and there, that's a bonus. But he doesn't have that on an every play basis. Go to the guys who have that. And this is where I'm telling y'all, if they trade OG, it's a criminal mistake. And they're gonna feel it. I promise you the blueprint to continue to be elite or even change your team to be a top 5 team, but get better and whatever the case is, and at least be, is the Pascal trade. I promise you, yo. And y'all aren't gonna hear me, and some of y'all are gonna, oh my God, whatever it is, I'm used to that. But at the end of the day, the ones who recognize real, as long as this is out there, it's there. It's documented. You know what I'm saying? Because when the shit goes all of my takes, all of my perspective, it might not come to fruition right then and there in 5 games, in 10 games, in 15 games, in 20 games. By the end of the season, by the end of the road, it will come clear that Banks was right. Always is. Never fails. And if I'm wrong, I'm still right because the way that I knew it wasn't going to work or the way that it works is going to be the way that I said it would work. The way that whatever happens is the way that I said it would. Come on now, yo. We don't have to get into that. But just be patient and Banks shit will come to fruition. When truth talks, you listen, fam. That's what it is. So y'all let me know what y'all think. A lot of stuff is going on with the Raptors right now. But like I tell you, this is the blueprint to get out of it. Masai should be doing that. These guys should be doing that. But I know that they're probably not. I know that they might trade OG. And if they do, I promise you, you're going to see OG be a whole different, and y'all mans will regret. It's going to be a Jeremy Grant situation with the Nuggets all over again. He's going to go to the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? That's just but the thing is the Nuggets were willing to let that go. Why? Because they have a Michael Porter Jr. They have a version of that. You know what I'm saying? So, rightfully so. You don't have a version of that. You don't have an OG elite defender that could get buckets. You don't have that. 6'8". You don't have that on the Raptors roster. That's nowhere to be found. They're either smaller or they're you don't have that. So you letting go of OG, you're going to feel it. You're already struggling on defense. You don't listen. All right, yo. I'm telling y'all something. It's up to y'all to see the gems that I'm dropping or, it go over your head as usual. It's up to y'all. It's true talks. Sure like and subscribe. We out here. There's no doubt here and there's no drought here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to show y'all something, man. This is getting out of hand. The Raptors, the win 1, win 2, lose 3, lose 2, win 1, is inconsistent for a reason. Because of the play style, you can only mask it so much. You're going to have great days. You're going to have more bad days than great, which is why they have more losses than wins because you can't mask it. You can't mask a play style clash. It's the same shit going on with the Lakers. You're going to have some good days, but you can't mask it. Well, Westbrook and Brown, that's the root of it all. You can't mask it. You can't. You can only do it versus certain times when man's earning. But when you're playing in this league, a lot of these teams are talented. Okay, see, even the bad teams are talented. So the masking hurt. That's just what's happening. This is the reason why the Raptors they're losing more. Because on an everyday basis, no matter what team you is, you could be the Bucks, you could be the best team, you could be Boston. You may lose to OKC because man's just shooting now. The game has changed. Bare shots, no transition takes, so you can't even stop shit and force them to half court if the half court was bad. So more of transition. If man just shooting more threes, so we might be off today. It's a 50. Every game is 50-50. There's no guarantee. That's out the window now in this league. Every game is 50-50. So if you have a play style clash, you're going to lose more than you're going to win. It's guaranteed in this new NBA. But before, maybe because you're taller, mismatch, other guys' teams are weak, you may have a better. But now with all these teams elevating, even the bad teams will beat you. Mans didn't see Utah. Man thought Utah were going to be bad. I'm telling y'all something, yo. Especially the transition take is changed. That's why you look at the standings. No one predicted none of these standings. Maybe the East, but the West, hell no. And the take is a part of a lot of that. Because when you're bricking, you can't foul a nigga. So now that's 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Mans are hitting threes. Like, they get in more confidence. So now they going to hit tough shots. Like, every man has a bag. The role player has a bag. The 3-and-D guy has a bag. He can pump fake side step. Every man has a bag now. Mans could shoot now. The big could shoot now. More space. Like, it's harder to play good defense and win. Like, if you're struck, like, dog. That's the problem. Raptors will have stretches where they play good, but then they can't shoot because rhythm is off. From the shooters who could shoot, their rhythm is off. So they look like they can't shoot because rhythm is off. They're not elite snipers. They're rhythm shooters. So if the rhythm is off, the shooting is off. Then everyone has to just run into the paint. Dog. And then now other man's just scoring. All right, you already know. Like I said, it's true talks. It's true talks. Share, like, and subscribe, man. We already know. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, y'all, and spread the word. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. And I'm out, man.